I'm Celeste and welcome to Find Your Purple. Today is day 8 of SSSVEDA, video every day for the month of August. And I'm running late getting it out today because I had a staging day. I'm a realtor and staging is when we're putting a listing on, getting ready for a photographer, and need to do finishing touches. And so we bring in furniture and accessories and just make the home shine, I guess, on the internet. And it makes for a long day, but it's a rewarding day because it's one of those times when you look before and then when we leave, the house does look so much better in most cases, and the clients are happy with how it looks. So anyway, I was trying to think of what I was going to do today, and I got home and I had to do juicing. I've been juicing for about 3 weeks now, and this morning was the first morning we were out of juice. And my daughter, one of my daughters lives with me, and she was saying she actually missed it. And you know, I did too. It was funny how in 3 weeks I really did miss having my morning juice ready. And it got me thinking of a story, and it's one you've probably heard, but it's a young woman, and newly married, was making a roast, and she cut off the ends and then put it in the oven, and her husband asked her why she cuts off the ends. And she said, well, that's how you cook a roast. And he said, well, why do you cut it? And she said, well, that's how my mom always did it. So she calls her mom later and asks her, you know, why does she do it? Because her husband was asking. And her mom said, well, that's how her mom had done it. So she ends up going to the grandmother. Come to find out, the grandmother did it because she only had one pan and the roast was too big, and she always would have to cut it to make it fit the pan. But because she did it all the time, and everyone saw her do it all the time, they were kind of absorbing that that's how you cook a roast. And I think with cooking and what we eat and what foods we like and don't like, that's very much picked up by who we're around. And our peers or our parents or our families, or now social media. Kids are emulating people that they've never met, likely will never meet, and yet there's people who are influencing them even more than their family, which is kind of a scary thing when you come to think about it. But the fact my daughter was missing the juicing after a short time, I never told her she had to drink it. I just would make it and say, hey, you want to try this? And she would try it, and she knew, how can it not be healthy when I'm buying organic fruit, and there's carrots in it, and apples in it, beets in it, and she thinks it doesn't taste bad. Some of them taste downright good. And so she knows it's good for her, and she's drinking it and actually is enjoying it. And I can see that even in my 60s, and she's in her late 30s, she's influenced by me. Doesn't always agree with me. She goes to church with me sometimes. Again, she hadn't gone really for all of her life. And it makes me see that no matter how old you are, you can influence your family, your children, your friends, co-workers, by being an example. If that's the faith, if that's your diet, just probably your politics might be in there too, but realize you can and are an example, good or bad, to the people around you. They're watching even when you don't think they are. And you might want to keep that in mind so that you make sure the example you're giving is one you want to give. And if you're a parent, that's even more important, because you are taking kind of an empty vessel when you have a baby, and you're pouring all these things in, beliefs and all sorts of things that you're giving them. And I see now how important that is, and I just would ask anyone out there just to be aware of who is around you that you are influencing, and make sure you're making a positive impact on it. And that's it for today. As always, grab your cup of tea, sit back, and let's start sharing. Until next time, bye-bye.